Hello, welcome to another lecture. Today we are going to work on some interesting topic. We're going to talk about GitHub workflows, arithmetic operations in Python, and how to do control flow and define functions in Python. So it's going to be an interesting lecture. So let's get into it. So First, in this class, in the previous class, we have started working using GitHub as I introduced in the live classes. GitHub is one of the softwares that I use for version control. It's used almost in a lot of software engineering companies always use GitHub where they will store their code and make changes and keep history. Everything is maintained in GitHub for a lot of software. GitHub is actually part of, in software engineering, there's this concept called continuous integration and continuous delivery. So CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous delivery. CI is basically the GitHub workflow, how you maintain your code to be able to make changes. Your software changes are in there. That is the GitHub workflows. That's the continuous integration. The continuous delivery, mainly in GitHub terms, is GitHub Actions. How to deploy the code to a server, make changes, and push the code to the production environment. So in today's lecture, I just want to quickly go through. We have been doing the GitHub workflow, but I want to quickly go just one step to do it once so that we can know everything. And I'm using the UI in Visual Studio Code so far to do everything, but there are commands you can actually use for everything. I will not force anybody to do the command now because I myself have to just do everything in VS Code. So let's see how the workflow can work for us. So first of all, I have opened my github.com as a student account. In the live classes, we are using GitHub Classroom, and each student is added to that classroom so they can have access to their quizzes and work on it. So as a student, after you are given access, you've gone through the process to accept and join the Kente Code AI class. When you come to your GitHub and you go to your profile in the corner here, okay, this profile in the corner, and go to the organizations, okay, and you have accepted that you want to join the Kente Code AI, everything has been done, then you see your Kente Code AI organization in your account. So you can click on it and then you see your this for the first one, quiz one. It creates the classroom creates a quiz, and the quiz is named with my name, my GitHub name, so that I can see my quiz and work on it. Okay, so this is only for the first time, but after you've gone through this, you've gone through all this and everything, you should be able to just quickly see this in your own GitHub. So if you go to, this is my GitHub, okay, this is my board, so you can see that because I already went through the process. I can see it here. I can see my quiz over here. But if it is not showing here, just go to your organizations, right, and then go here, Kente Code AI. Then you'll be able to see your quiz over here. So any quiz you create will come like this. Then you click on it. Then you are in this repository, and this repository is in Kente Code AI account, but it's created for you. So you will work on this repository, make changes, and then create a PR, which will go through the process, and then it will be reviewed, and the code will be matched. So what I want to talk about is basically I want to quickly go through the process of how the GitHub works. So you see that we have the repository here. We have the repository, and it has main is the branch that is default for most. They can set it at the back end, but most of the time you create a GitHub repo, it's going to be either you choose a main or a master as the default branch. And this branch, let's assume that this is the only branch we have for production. There can be other branch, like in my company, we have a develop where we do all the develop everything before we merge it into the main branch for deployment. But in this class, we are going to assume that we have only one main branch, and that main branch we will create branches of the main, work on it, and then we will merge it back into the main. So that's basically how the workflow will go. So we have main branch, okay, and I want to create a branch and work on it. There are some things we can learn from here, okay. So I have, for example, we can do all this behind the scene, okay, or we can do all this with UI, I mean with a command prompt. But I want to leave the command prompt command out now because we are new to this process. When we get, the more we get into the program, we will start using the command. So I want to just continue using the UI for everything for now. So for example, if I want to create a new branch so that I can work on it, so I go here. Normally, we would like to give it a name that can help us. If it is a feature, okay, you can just give it any name, but let's just say I want to go with some naming standard that developers will do. If I'm creating a new feature, I'll call it feature, and I can give a description for the feature. Say, let's say this feature add function. Okay. Summation. Okay, let's say the feature I'm adding to the repo is called summation. That's just the feature. You can name it anyhow. Sometimes I can add, normally just say Vince def. Okay, some people work on it, but yeah, but this is some of the naming conventions that are followed in the industry. Will be if you're adding a new feature, say feature, give the description of the feature. So let's say this the feature I'm creating is called addition something, like that's the name of the feature. Just something to go with this for now. Okay, so the feature is addition. Okay, so this is the feature I want to create. So I'm creating a new branch, and you can see that the branch is being created from the main branch. You see, so it's going to create the branch feature addition from main branch. So addition, right? Okay, that's it. It's creating it from this branch. Okay, so I'm just doing this in my current quiz one, just as a show how it works, so you can see it. Okay, so I'm creating addition. So branches create addition. Then I click on this. Okay, so when I click on this now, you see now I am in this new branch called feature addition, right? And this feature addition is a new branch, so I can work in the feature addition, make changes, and then commit them into my main branch. So you see that the main branch is here. But now that I created a new feature, you see I'm in this branch. So let's go back to VS Code, and then we'll see in VS Code how I can point to this new branch that I've created, make changes, and then we'll commit it back into the main branch. Okay, so this is VS Code. Okay, this is VS Code. All right, so if I start VS Code just right now and I don't have anything here, so let me just close everything. Let me close folder. Okay, I close this folder. Okay, let's say this is clean folder. So I want to quickly go through the VS Code, the tabs here. This one is the Explorer that can show you all the files in your current project. This is a search, and this search allows you to search for files in entire of your project. This is the source control. This is where you will be able to connect to GitHub and get your code up and down. And this is where you can run your code. This option allows you to run your code with configurations and all that stuff. And here is your extensions. This is what allows you to install extensions. Like in the previous lecture, we show how to install Jupyter and all that stuff. Okay. So today's feature, we want to go to the source control. All right. And then let's assume that we haven't got a code yet on our desktop. So we want to get a copy from GitHub and put it into our system. So because I'm already working on that code, let me go and quickly delete. What I did was I have already started working on that in a folder that I created this folder called projects. Okay, then I put this last time. So let's assume I don't have this code here, but you create the project folder on your C drive. Okay, this is what I'm putting in. I'm putting it on my C drive called project. So this lesson can go smoothly. Okay, I just created a folder. If you don't have project, you know how to create a project folder in the C drive so that I can put my code in there. So now I want to clone the repository that is on GitHub onto my desktop so that I can work on it. So I will go to clone repository. This is what I'm going now, clone repository, right? So if you see that I'm already logged into GitHub here, right? I've already logged into here. So to make things easy and smooth for me, okay, I've already logged into GitHub. So I click clone repository. There are two ways. You can directly say clone from GitHub, or you can go and see the repository here. If you click on this name, you see this name, if you click on it, the name here, this URL is the repository URL. You can copy this and put it into the next thing. Or, so let's practice this one. Or if I say clone from GitHub, and I say clone from GitHub from here. Okay, so GitHub says it wants to sign in using GitHub, so allow, okay? If it comes like this for you, say allow, and it's going to authorize to log into my GitHub. I say okay. Okay, so it's going to do all this stuff, okay, authorize, and I put my GitHub password. But it might not do this for you already if you already have logged into all these things and then confirm everything. So this could be like you don't have to do all this stuff. So, but yeah, you say open. So now you see, after I logged in, I can see the repos that are in my account. I can see my quiz, and there are other repos we worked on last time. So I can see the new repo. So I click on that. Okay, now it's asking me where do I want to put that repository. So as I said, I'm going to put that on the C drive in the projects folder. So I have my projects folder here. So I click, and then I'm in the projects folder. Then I say select repository destination. That's what I'm going to select. Select repository destination. So now you see this on this side. It has cloned it, and it said, would you like to open the repository? And I say yes, open it. Okay. So I got the repository that is on GitHub now on my desktop. Okay. I got it now on my desktop. Now, what I want to do is this. This repository, anytime I clone it, the default, you are going to land in the default branch, which is main. But I don't want to work in the default branch. Rather, I want to work in the, I click on the source control. You see, I click on source control. I want to work, you see now, it's pointing to the main branch. So I don't want to work in the main branch. I want to work in my branch that I created before I push it into the main branch. So you go to this, you see this dot next to it over here, right? You can do that, or you can do this. They are all the same, but if this is showing for you, you can use this and say checkout to is the same command here or there. You see, it's the same command. You say checkout to. So checkout to means I want to go into a different branch, right? I want to go to a different branch, and that branch is this one, origin feature addition. This is the new branch I created. So now I am going into that branch. So now you see that now I am pointed into this branch. So now let me go to the Explorer so that I can see all my files. So now that I am in here, I can make changes now. Let's close this. I can now make changes in this repository, either to this file, or I can create more files. This is what I did in the last previous one, and it's there. So let's just create another file. To create a file, you click on the new file over here, and then let me say multiplication, multiply, okay, dot py means it's a Python file, okay? So I do that and I enter, right? So I just say A equals 3, B equals 2, 4, let's say 4, and then answer, okay, equals 3 times 4. Okay, 3 answer equals 3 times and W. Answer equals 3 times 4. Then print answer. Print answer. Okay, yeah, let me have it here. Okay, print answer. Then I'll go to, you see this option, you can run the file from here. So it's a run Python file in the corner over there. Then I'll just click on run, and then you can see it's run. Let's say print, we didn't finish the thing. Say print answer, put it like this, and then we run it, okay? So you say it's 3 times 4, 3 times 4, which is 12. So you can click here to run the code, or you can directly write sample Python then the name of the file, which is multiply.py. So you say Python, as far as you're already in this branch, you don't need to go and write the whole directory. You say Python multiply.py. So when I run it, you see it shows over here. Either you can say Python or you can just say py multiply.py. Okay, then it will come. On Mac, you might have to say Python, let's say 3 or Python. Mac, it can be a little, I don't use Mac, so it's Python 3 or then you have to say something. But yeah, on Windows, this is straightforward like this. So you can run the file like this, run and get your answer like this, or you can click this button over here. So we have made changes to the file, and then these changes, we want to now add these changes back into our GitHub, right? So as I said, you come to the source control icon over here, then it gives you option to add a message to the changes that you have done. So I say add multiplication file. So that's the message I give. So I'm going to say commit. Okay, commit means that you have things that are staged, and it will stage it and then move it into GitHub. Commit means it's storing it on your desktop in the repo on your machine. But first, the files have to be staged or added to stage so that they can be added to the repository. But when you click commit, it will ask you the option, do you want to stage the file and then commit it at the same time? Or if you want to stage the file one by one, you can just click on this plus button. That will stage this file. You see now this file is now staged. So it gives the sign A means added. Okay, so this file is added. So when I click commit, it will just take this file and add it to the repo on my desktop. Okay, it's on my desktop, it's on my laptop. Now I need to make those changes go into GitHub. So there are two ways, because we are using the UI. We have this option called sync changes. These sync changes will push the changes on your desktop to GitHub, and then it will also pull down anything that is in that repo in branch in GitHub onto your desktop. So it's two in one action. You can either do that, or you can have the option to say push first. Okay, you can push it separately, and then after that you can pull the changes from GitHub down to your machine. But I like to use this one. I just say sync changes, which will push everything I have now on my desktop to GitHub, and then bring anything that is on GitHub to my machine if I don't have it. So now that we have done that, if you go to GitHub, okay, so I have done the changes. So you will see that now it's showing that this branch has new changes. So I can either say compare and pull request, which is straightforward, or you can use the new pull request option. But this is in case you are not seeing this compare and pull request. If you go to the pull request option, if you are not seeing this, you can just click new pull request. So if you are seeing this one, the yellow, you just click on the pull, compare and pull request. So I say compare and pull request. So the title, if you want to leave this title or you want to add a new one, you can add a new one. So this is the title of the pull request. This is called a pull request you are creating. So you see here, it says the compare. It's a feature addition branch. It's going to the base. The base is the branch that is going to receive the changes, and the base here is main. Okay, now you can add reviewers, people who will review your code, other developers or your supervisor. In this case, Kente Code AI will be reviewing this code for students before it is merged into their branch. But right now, we don't have any protection on the main branches. We just let it free for students to practice this. So if you click on this, you can choose the developer you want, or developers, one or two. It can be more than one person who you want to review the code. So here we are going to choose Kente Code AI Academy as the one going to review our code. Okay. So once we click on it, now we want you to review the code, and then you go back down here and say create pull request. Okay. So what will happen now is that now this code, the one like Kente Code AI Academy have to come check the things. They will come and look at the files that are changed to see, okay, is everything okay with what he's doing? What he's trying to add into, is the process correct? If everything is correct, yeah, they can just go here and approve the pull request. Okay, commit, submit, general approval. Let me see here. Oh, so as a student, okay, this is the student view, so I cannot do it. Student cannot do it. this is me myself. So, I cannot be review. You cannot review your own code, right? Somebody else have to do the review for you. So if you go here, you see all the pull requests that you have pending. So you click on this one here. If right now we can merge it because we don't have protection. If you have protection, it will tell you cannot merge the pull request into your master branch until somebody actually, this person have to actually go here. And for them, when they review the code, everything, they will have the option. Because I am the same person, so I cannot do my own review. It will have the option to approve it so that this pull request can be merged. All right, once they approve it, they can either merge the code for you, or you have to now come and click on your pull request name, okay, and then you click on the merge pull request. So you merge the pull request and then confirm the merge. So now that you confirm it, now the changes that you made in the branch feature addition, if you go back to main here, you see that file is not showing here. Right, so you have completed the process. So that is the process of making pull request, asking somebody for review, and then merging it. Okay, once that change has happened, you can go ahead and delete. Like if after that, I can go and delete the feature addition because I finished working on it. I can delete it. Okay, then maybe next time I need to do something else, I can create a different. So once I deleted it from here, if I come here into Visual Studio, it's still going to be showing here because I'm not, I haven't synced those changes lower. So if I check out to main, if I go back and check out to main, so this is my main, okay? So it will go back now. You see that I'm now in the main branch. If I go to the File Explorer, I say refresh. See, this is refresh it. Let's go to GitHub. So I'll go here. I say, you see, it say there are changes that I need to pull from GitHub. You see, the sync option is also saying changes that are on GitHub main that is not on my desk or my machine. So I can sync the changes, means that pull down those changes that are on GitHub itself and bring it onto my machine. So once I've done that, you see that now that file is not available in the main branch on my machine. So I can create a new branch directly from here if I want to create a new branch. Either you say checkout to and give a new branch name. So you can create a new branch. Let's say feature division. Okay, let's say I want to create a new branch called division. So create branch. Okay, create a new branch. So now I created the new branch division, but it's just on my machine. It's not in GitHub. So if I go to GitHub, I will not see that branch because that branch is not on my on there. So if you go here, you see the branch is not there. But in order to make that branch to go to GitHub and be on GitHub, I have to publish it. So say publish branch, and then this branch will now go and be on GitHub. So you see now, if I refresh this, okay, you see now if I go to branches here, branches, you now see that I have feature division here. Okay, now I can do whatever I want to do in my feature division. If I want to add a new file for division, I can go through the same process, make the changes in this file, and then just push it back into the GitHub. So yeah, that is the GitHub workflow summary. So we will be doing that process throughout the course, making changes, submitting it for reviews. That will be part of the course. So you should get those. And what I said is we can do all the things that we are doing in command prompt, but I will not worry about the command prompt, the commands till later. How to do it using commands. So at this time, let's just stick to using the UI for now. But these are some of the tips. We don't try to make so big changes before you commit the code. The thing is, when we are working by the day, you should try to commit your code and put it in GitHub, because what about if your machine crash, you lose everything. So it is advisable to always sync the changes you have on your desktop to GitHub. That way it's available for you, and if something happened, you can go back and then see that code for yourself. So that is some of the things that there are things that are going to happen. There are some things, conflicts that will happen, but as we go forward, we will expand more on things that are happening. But at this time, just know how to use the GitHub workflow, okay, and then be able to submit your codes like that. Okay. In our last lecture, we started a small quiz where we add numbers and then we do some division and our multiplication. So in this lecture, we want to close the subject on arithmetic operations in Python. Okay, so you know how to add in Python. You have two variables, a and b. You can add them together. Subtraction, you see the minus sign. So you see addition is a plus b. Subtraction is a minus b, and then the multiplication a minus b. Okay, a division is like this. Now you see that in our quiz, anytime we do division, we are always returning a float. Whether we have two integers and we divide, like 10 divided by 2 is going to give you 5.0. Division will always return a float, so you should keep that in your mind. Now, there's another type of division. So this one is 1//, and then there's another type of division where you use double slashes. This division rounds down the number. So if let's say I have 5 divided by 2 and it is 2.5, it will round it down to 2. So if you want to always get the bottom number, you use the double / to get the round down version, right? Then there's another one called the modulus. The modulus. So modulus is always like A mod B, right? So for example, right, if you take 10, let's say 5 divided by 5 modulo 2. 5 modulus 2. It will always give, it will give you 0.5. The remainder, modulus is what remains after you divide, and is the decimal point that is remaining. Let's say if I say 4 modulus 2 is 0, nothing remains. But 5 modulus 2 is 2.5. Right? So the 0.5 is what is the remainder. So if you're looking for the remainder after you make the division, the modulus is what you are going to use. Okay. Another one is exponentiation, right? Raised to the power. You raise like 2 raised to the power 2 is 2 times 2, is 4, like that. Raised to that power is how many times you are multiplying the number at the bottom. So you are raising it to the power so if you want to raise to the power is A, double stars, and then B. It means you are raising it to the power. And then there are some orders of operations in Python, even in mathematics. Is actually called PEMDAS. Yes, you do the bracket first, the exponentiation first, the multiplication. You do bracket is PEMDAS. The brackets, the parentheses are also called bracket. The parentheses, it will be done first. Then you do the explanations. Then you do the multiplication, the division, addition, and subtraction. So that order is when you have a mathematical, in British, they say board maths, also is the same thing. You have that order the same in Python. It will take that order in consideration anytime you're doing mathematics. So just make sure you understand that. And there is also, if you have an integer and a float, anytime there's a float in any of your mathematics, if you miss the result will always become a float. Okay, like 1 plus 2.0 is 3.0. 2.0 is a float, 1 is just integer, but when you add them together, you always get the float. So that is something you should also be aware of. So also, there is a shorthand for writing the math, right? Shorthand. Instead of saying x equals 1 plus 1, you can just say x plus equals 1. Okay, so this is x equals x plus 1. It means the x number, you take the x and you add another 1 to it. You can write it x plus equals 1, right? And then x times equals 2 means that x equals x times 2. Okay, so we will look at the practice for those ones. So we want to make sure that we understand very well those. We see this. We want to say this. This is true division. This is the first slash. That's the true division. And then the double slash is for the floor. We are looking for the floor. We want to know the modulus. For negative, yes. For negative like this, if I have a negative 10 divided by 2, right? Let's say negative 10 divided by 3. So if you take a 10 divided by 3, it's going to be 3.33, something like that, right? If you do the floor positive, if you do floor positive, 10 divided by 3 is going to be 3, because it was 3.33. If you say the modulo, the floor division, let's say it's floor division, 2 / this one over here. You see, this one over here. If you do like 10 floor division 3, right? Floor division is going to give you 3 because it's going to be 3.333. It's going to take the floor, which is 3. Now, take negative 3. Okay, this is very interesting. Negative 10 divided by 3. The answer will be like negative 3.333, right? But the floor will be negative 4. Okay, the floor will be negative 4 because it's going away from 0, right? 0 is higher, so the floor will be negative 4. So check that out and then try to see how that will work. Okay, all right. Now let's see some examples here. Examples, arithmetic examples. So we see this a plus b, then you say a minus b. These are just basic things. You should be able to write this code and see what is the answer. Through division is a divided by b, okay, and then the floor division is this, okay, and then the remainder modulus. Let's just say the remainder. The remainder is modulus. So easiest way to remember is remainder. So a mod b, you write it like this, and then the exponential. So the operator precedence, right? If you say 2 plus 3 times 4 equals what? So if you say PEMDAS, okay, so this one there's no parenthesis, so we are good. The next one will be explanation. So explanation is we don't have an explanation. The next one will be multiplication. So you do the multiplication first. So 3 times 4, which is 12. And then the last thing is 2. So 3 times 4 is 12 plus 2, which is 14. So that's the order. You have to remember the order in which it goes, right? Okay. So if we run this code, let's see. Okay. You see, yeah, this is the, yeah. So a plus b is 10, a minus b 4, a times b 21, a over b is 2 point, yes, but a mod remainder b is 2 because what is this? A through division. So what is the remainder? Did that work? Did that work? Does this work? Yeah? Yeah. Okay. Now A mod B is 1. Yes, A mod B. What is that? A is what? A is 7 and B is 3. So 7 divided by 3 is 2, right? 2 remainder 1. Okay. Yeah, okay. So practice this part and then see how these things look. Okay. The next topic, we have finished working on the math, and the math is simple, so we go through that process and make sure we understand how to do the math using the math science, okay? Now, let's see conditionals. Okay, in programming, sometimes we have to check conditions, okay, to see if something is true or not. Okay, so condition is checking if a particular statement is true or not. For example, I say x equals 5. So the conditional statement in Python, the word what we use is called if. So if that x is greater than 3, I want to print is greater, then else is what is going to happen if the condition is not true. So you're going to print is smaller. So that's the simplest form to explain this one. Okay, we said a simple is the if statement is what is used in Python to check condition. Say let's say x equals 10. You want to check if 10 is a negative number, is a negative or not. You say if x is less than 0, then print is negative. If not, then you say else. So you can have if, else, or you can put multiple. Say if x is greater than 3, print greater. Else if x is greater, else if. So let me put this one here. So you can add another one of this. So x equals 10, okay? Then if x is greater than 3, print greater. Say, let's say if I want to check another condition, I'll say else if, okay, else if x equal to 3, then print is equal. Okay, you always, else if, this, else if, print. Did this work? If if x is equal to, no quotation, I put quotation here, so it's breaking it. And if x equal to 3, print equal. So when I do this, so now it's greater than. So if I say, and then if I check all the conditions, I say if another condition, if you can make a lot of conditions, doesn't matter. If s equal to 10, print 10. Okay, you can do so many conditions. Okay, and then finally, if I say in case everything is not passing, so the last condition else is going to be the last thing to do if all the conditions have failed to pass. So here I say x is greater than 10. If x is greater than 3, print greater. So this should print greater. Okay. Else if is just written elif in Python. If that is equal to 3, print equal. Then if another condition, if it's equal to 10, print 10. This is the situation. Anytime the condition passes, it's not going to continue running the rest of the condition. As far as it hits one of them, that is true, it will end. It will not keep going and be checking the rest of the things. Okay, so it will only keep going to the next check condition. If this one has failed, then it will go to the next one. But if you look at this, the first one has passed. Okay, right? So it's good. So let's change this to less. Okay, yeah, let's change that. Okay, let's change it and see what happened. Okay, see what happened now. Okay, it came here is if x is greater than 3, print smaller, but x is 10, so it's not. If x is less than 3, print smaller, but x here is 10, so this statement did not pass. Okay, it goes to the next one. Else if the s is 3, then print equal, but x is not 3, so this failed, right? Now else if x is equal to 10, print 10, right? So it's reached here and it sees that x is 10, so it prints 10. Once it prints 10, there's nothing else to print here, so it has stopped. Okay, so that is the conditionals. So short lecture over there, how to check conditions. Now, the last topic for the day is functions. Okay, so functions. What is a function? Okay, a function is just a piece of code that you write to perform a set of instructions. So once you have that piece of code written and you keep it, you can call it anywhere you need to use that particular code without repeating the entire code. So for example, right, to define a function, there are inbuilt functions in Python, and then you can create your own function to do your stuff. So inbuilt functions, we can just leave that one, but here we are creating our own function. So let's say I created a function to add 2 numbers, right? I'm creating a function that will add just 2 numbers. So A and B, it will add them. So I use the keyword to create a function. You have to use the keyword def. Then the name of the function, and then the parameters that the function will accept. What is inside these brackets here? Okay, they are called the parameters. Okay, these are the parameters, the things that you will give to the function to do work on it. Or if there is nothing for the function to do the work, then you don't give anything. For example, if I create a function that I call it and it will just say hello, so function greet, right? Greet. Function is greet. So let's say I don't give it any name and I just say, okay, print hello world. So anytime I call the function, so let me look, okay. I call the function greet, okay? Greet. This is the function. I call it. This is how you call the function. You name it. So if I call greet, it's just going to say hello world, okay? But if I say this greet should accept name and greet the person, then look at what happens. So it's going to say hello, the name. So if you put curly brackets, okay, before some curly bracket and put this is the variable, the parameter, is going to put that parameter name here. This is just printing. In printing, you can directly call the parameter here with this bracket, and put the name in here to print. Okay, so look at what if I want to now call the function. I say greet Alice. Okay, Alice. Okay, so now I'm calling the function, I'm giving name. Yeah, greet him, greet Alice, right? So he's going to say hello Alice. So now you can call this function many times. So I say great, okay, Bob. Okay, so you see now you say hello Alice, hello Bob. It's just using the same function. You can call it anywhere to do, work for you anywhere. So that is a function. It can be small, just a couple of words. It can take long. It can have calculations. It can have whatever you need it to do. But the main point is, what is a function. It's a small code that you write, give it a name. It can take a parameter, or it might not take no parameter, and it can work, and you can call it. Okay, so let's go and see another function. So let's say we're adding a function that can add. We give it two numbers and it will add for you, right? You give it a and b and it will add for you, right? This is the function. So if I say my answer is equal to, you can give it like this. Okay, okay, let me also mention this. The function, you see, if the function can either return something to you, or you should just do the work and stop. Okay, if you want the function to return something back to you, you use the keyword return. Okay, return this. If you don't return anything, then the function will just do whatever it's doing inside, and that's it. You not get anything back. But anytime you say return, it means that the function is going to return whatever there to the person calling it. So if I say answer equals add 2 plus 3, and I give these parameters 2 for A, you see the other matters, 2 is for A and B, 3 is for B. It's going to say, I want to say return the sum A plus B. So it's going to give the answer back to whoever is calling it. So if I say answer equals, I call the function name, then I give the parameters 2 and 3. Now I want to print what is my answer. Okay, so print 2 plus 3 is this answer, like that answer, right? So when I run that code, you will now see that the answer 2 plus 3 equals 5. So this function now, I can call it many times. So I say, you can call it directly like this. Add 10 plus 2. Yeah, this is a print statement. I'm just printing this. And then I'm calling the function name. Then I'm giving the parameters 10 and 20, right? So when I do that, and I do this, when I print it, you see, if when you add this, it's going to give it to the same function will add 10 and 20, and it will give you a 30. Okay, so that is the end here. As I said, function is just a small piece of code you can write and recall it many times to do some work for you. And it's very good concept in almost all programming languages. They have functions where you can build it and recall it whatever you used to, you need it. So this is the practice, the quiz for this week. Okay, the quiz is this: you are going to write a function that checks if a number is even. So if the number is even, the function will say true, and if the number is not even, the function will say false. So you give a number to the function, and the function will check and see if the number is even and return true if it is even, or if it is not even, it will say false. So that is the quiz for this lesson, and I hope you enjoy this lecture. So thank you for watching.